This is Grunton Cheeseworthy filling in for Dr. Sleepless as we move in towards midnight here. And we're going to do a little more spookiness for you before we segue into deeper darkness after midnight. This is the Interstellar Nihilism Tuesday night rerun replacement special. And Halloween special, too. Now, we're going to listen to the Spook Spoke. Again, from the Ghouls with Attitude Halloween compilation. Rock it.
Yeah, people. Oh, I'm a mean, mean guy.
That's both.
Ah, but fear not, little one. Pray tell me, what is your name?
My name is Cecil.
Cecil? Oh, you poor kid. Haunting melody. I must dance. 1, 2, da, 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 da. La 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 la. Cha cha cha. Cecil, old boy, I'm thirsty. Be a nice host to your ghost and fetch me a bottle of this 7 Down.
Yes, sir, Mr. Spook. 7 Down.
The little woman's voice. And when she calls, I'd better be there. Cheerio, Cecil, old boy.
He's a scared spook. But the spook spook. What a nice spook.
Welcome to the house on Haunted Hill.
I tell you, I've never been so scared in all my motherfucking life. So don't you get creeped out yet. We ain't yet pulled the knife out of your back. This has been the Interstellar Nihilism Halloween Special. Part 1.
We are whirling through space,
Indeed.
drifting toward eternity. Mystical sparks encircled by loneliness and cold darkness.
That's for sure.
Are you afraid?
No.
So are a lot of other people.
Yeah, I know.
One of the reasons witchcraft has survived through the ages
This
is
is true.
because man's need to coerce destiny and subdue the fear within has never subsided.
Because he's a pussy.
Witchcraft attempts to deceive, cajole, and otherwise disturb natural inclination and occurrences. Witches know about the universal energy of which all things are part. You, the stars, the trees, the rocks, the gods. We know how to tune into this energy and use it. A witch is a psychic female who, with magical secrets and sheer force of will, makes things happen.
It is
I'm a
midnight.
witch.
The
My
bitching
mother's a
hour.
witch. My grandmother is a witch, and my grandmother's great-grandmother was a witch.
Okay.
I'm a sixth-generation witch.
Thrilling. We're not impressed.
Magic?
Now for something really fucking scary.
Hello.
3.
Of course, men masturbate. That's one of the first things I learned about boys and men when I was very young and beginning to get interested in sex.
Hello, sweetheart.
It was a little.
I'm ready to listen to you turn you on.
When I was older,
Supposed to lie back and
you know, I was a little shocked by
even better.
the so-called code of sexual morality made up by present society. It was got to me.
I mightn't be the second now.
Now,
But I'm the horniest.
I love the thought of men masturbating. And I really enjoy masturbating men. You know what I'd like to do?
It's full of a continent of blood.
I'd like to take them all in hand and let them
Is that you? I'm here to talk. Listening to me with both ears and all your lust.
join them in
Then you'll want to know what? Nothing else but grace. Because I want you all to myself for the throbbing minutes I have. Good.
You really
So let's ride together to ecstasy while I tell you about
After all,
me.
sex is good for you.
Tantalizing Tina, as some
I
boys
know
call
men
me,
love
even
to
though
fantasize.
sometimes it's tormenting Tina, or torrid Tina,
And I want to
tempting
join
Tina.
you.
As you can see from my pictures, and I hope you've got those juicy shorts spread wide in front of you like I have. Wide open. I love opening up for men like you. In fact, spreading myself gives me as much of a turn on as I sincerely hope it is for you, darling. It's just that the idea of you looking at my intimate nooks and crannies and getting hot in the pants makes me juice up too, quickly, loudly, very, very wetly. That's why I'm talking to you like this, like you see me in the pictures, naked. I started out a minute or two ago in my wild black undies and a slinky figure-hugging skirt, the one I can feel sliding yummily against my bum with every little move. But even they sort of got in the way as I moved around the room, and I didn't want anything to come between you and me, except you. Besides, there's no to really go to work on my big bouncy boobs with a bra, even the flimsiest bra in the way. And even though my tits are big, they're sensitive. And I love to roll my nipples between my fingers until they stand out hard, thrusting and lickable. Oh, so chewable. Of course I can do it to myself, but I prefer to think of you getting your mouth around them, a hot tip at a time, sucking them as hard as you like till they stand up, pointed like little pink mountain peaks. And while you're doing that, I would strip off my soggy panties so that my driving horse is waiting and ready for you, as if I'm wearing any. Maybe you'd like to hold back just a minute while I do an erotic little display for you. I've trained myself to be a really sexy dancer just by working myself off in front of my big bedroom mirror. Yes, the mirror's the one luxury I've allowed myself. So nice watching busy cocks working themselves in and out of me. But like I said, that comes later. For a start, I'd like you to lie back and watch me. I work myself up to a climax, kneading my tits and then pulling my fanny lips wide apart, so you can see my glistening insides wet, waiting, wanting to pull you deep inside me. And when I've got my clit boiling, then I walk slowly over to you, swinging my hips and my boobs and giving you the sucking of your life, just like I'm doing at the moment with a guy in my life. Faster. Tomorrow it's got you.
That might be an idea, baby. I don't think I can stand a pace like this for too long. Keep your tongue right there, right in the middle of my mouth.
So many girls don't know how much men love having their cocks sucked. And it tastes so nice, especially when it grows really small and soft, just as hard between my lips, so hard that you can nibble it a little bit, and then you just move your lips up and down, faster and faster. Oh, sometimes I love to have a guide cream over my face and feel it running down my cheeks. Sometimes I just love to swallow all that juice and drink it down as deep as I can. But now I want to be shafted, fucked, screwed, poked, and when I say now, I mean now. I'm climbing up on you, baby. Oh, that's right. Follow my tits and hold my backside open and lower my hand onto that stalk.
Baby, come down on it.
Now enjoy me while I work my cunt up and down on you, and I work my tongue deep in your mouth, so I feel you inside me both ends. How fast do you like it? Faster?
Faster, baby, faster. I want to see those boobs bouncing up and down and up and down.
Oh, it's so deep. It's so big. I can feel my insides splitting. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, let me grip it with my fanny muscles. Oh, now isn't that a nice fight?
No, faster, baby, faster.
Oh, that's wonderful. I can feel my juices trickling down my thighs.
You'll see some more in a moment, baby. Right now.
Get into me, baby. Give me the whole load. Give me all your cum. Every drop. And then while you lie back, I'll lick your crocodile balls nice and clean afterwards, I promise. Oh, you want me all over again? I'm coming. Hold on. No.
Yes, really.
I have a dream, and it's to see you. What this will mean is no more desktop blues, modeling and rendering, designing, analyzing, just pick any two.
Good times never end. All the products we selected, a TV set, a water bed. All the offers we rejected, we can get it there instead. So get yourself connected. Better deal ahead. So come on, people, let's buy it. I don't know, let's do it. Come on. Are you
Are you real? Are you real? You welcome me as I cosmos. Are you real? Are you real?
industry. We have so much to show you, machines and new ideas, and 14 days to see it all. Everything new is here.
Now that's scary.
Drupa International Printing and Paper Fair. We welcome you to Dusseldorf, Germany, to see what's new in the graphics industry. Drupa can teach you everything about the future of the industry. And while you learn, you can enjoy Dusseldorf, Germany. Drupa International Printing and Paper Fair. We welcome you to Dusseldorf, Germany, to see what's new in the graphics industry.
Which had a tiny little garden. Jack's father was dead, and Jack tried to help his mother as much as he could in the garden and with the milking of their cow. But Jack was a bit lazy, and he loved to play all day long with the other little children who lived nearby.
Sometimes getting my fingers right between the cheeks of your ass and up really bring things on. You see,
Lovely morning, lovely morning, lovely morning. It's a lovely, lovely morning, lovely morning. The wind is blowing, flowers are blooming, sun is rising up, up, up. Oh yes, up, up, up.
And I love the idea you said
But one day, Jack's mother found that there was no money left in the cupboard. Let's start playing. She had no money to buy bread or anything to eat for dinner, and she was really worried. Let's start having now all they had left in the world was their cow. Finally, she decided that she would have to send Jack to the fair in the town to sell their cow. Come on, hop, hop, hop. She was quite sad and tearful at the thought of selling their cow, but she really didn't know what else she could do. Bang! 1, 2, 3, dingle, 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 dee. Donkey said, ho-hee. Monkey jumped up the tree. 1, 2, 3, dingle, dee, dingle, 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 dee. I don't know what to do. Bang! 1, 2, 3, dingle, 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 dee. Donkey said, ho-hee. Monkey jumped up the tree. 1, 2, 3, dingle, dee, dingle, 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 dee. But that is not enough. So this was how Jack played every day, all day long. I am penniless, I don't know what to do. My life is in a mess, I don't know what to do. Oh,
And when you're ready to shoot your load, then I'll know. Yes, I'm really proud of myself.
my son is young and he always likes to play. When he grows up, he will help me in some way. My son is young and he always likes to play. When he grows up, he will help me in some way. I don't know what to do. My life is in a mess. come always to visit you. You will get a new home, I will get some money. Mother will be able to give me bread and honey. To the fair in the town I go. To sell my cow I go. My cow, my poor cow. How I am going to miss you. But don't you worry, I will come always to visit you. You will get a new home, I will get some money. Mother will be able to give me bread and honey.
Soon, as Jack was walking along the road, he saw an old man walking towards him. He was very old and had a long white beard.
Or at the zoo, and even from the cinema.
As Jack came closer to him, the old man spoke.
Good day to you, young man. And where are you going on such a fine day?
Good day to you, sir. I am going to the fair in the town to sell my cow.
Oh, you don't
One night
say.
in the dormitory, when a new girl came to the school. She was a little
Will you
taller
sell
than
it
the rest
to
of the
me,
girls,
young man?
and she was French.
Sure,
And her
if you can
parents had
pay
just
for
brought
it,
her over to
sir.
England.
Well, look here, young man. I
She had
have
long,
the
dark
most
hair,
wonderful magic
and her figure
beans
was
in the
fully
whole
formed,
world.
and was the envy
Now,
of the
these
younger
beans
girls.
will make you very rich.
When she joined our
I will
class,
give
she was
them
put in
all
the
to
bed
you
next to
if
me in the
you give me
dormitory.
your old cow, of
And after a
course.
few days, we'd
Now,
become great
what do you
friends
say?
and liked each other very
Wow,
much.
magic beans.
I have
They
it here
do
in my
look
diary.
good.
It was on the
Okay.
28th of November,
You can have her.
and it's marked down
But
as
can I come
Michelle.
and visit her?
Oh,
Underneath
yes,
my
of
bed.
course. Anytime.
That's all
I
it
just
says in
live
the
down the
diary.
road in a little green
There's an
cottage.
exclamation mark against it, but when I remember that first occasion. The lights were out, and the other girls had all gone to sleep.
So Jack said goodbye
And
to
Michelle
his
leant
cow
across
and
and
told
said,
her that he would visit her soon.
Sonia,
He then
I've got
said
something
goodbye
to
to
tell
the
you.
old man
I want to
and turned
whisper
back
it.
to walk home
I
to
shall
his
get
mother.
into your bed and whisper in your ear. She came across and we snuggled down together underneath the sheets, and I wondered what it was she had to tell me. She put her lips against my ear and said very quietly, in that soft French accent of hers that I remember so well, Sonia, I like you so very much.
And sent
And
Jack
I
to
want
bed
you to
without
like
any
me.
dinner.
And she whispered
Poor
it in
Jack.
such a way
Oh,
that
sleep
warmed
because he
tenderness
was so
towards her.
hungry.
As she finished speaking,
But goodness me, the beans were magic, for in the morning, the first thing that Jack heard was his mother shouting for
and her
him.
hands clasped round me, and
Jack!
And then
Jack!
one
Come
moved across to
soon!
my
Come and
breast,
see the new
which was just
beanstalk
beginning
in
to
our
form a little.
garden. It is so
and her
very
hand
tall,
rubbed
it must have
gently
grown
across my
from the
nightdress
magic
with a
beans.
palm brushing against my nipple. I gasped
Jack
a little.
ran down into the garden, and there he saw the new
delicious
beanstalk.
trembling feeling
It was
start.
taller and
And I wondered
stronger
what was
than
happening
any
to me.
tree, and it had
And I
grown
wondered
so
even more
quickly
what would
that
happen
its
next.
top seemed to touch the sky.
Her hand
Jack
rubbed
made up
across
his
my
mind
breast,
to climb up right to the
caressing
very
me
top.
very lightly for a little while.
His mother was frightened,
And then she
but
said,
before she could stop him,
See,
he
you
began
have
to
this
climb up.
nightdress on. Let me take yours off. And she gently pulled it up around my waist and up to my neck. And I sat up under the covers while she helped it over my head. She did the same with her own nightdress. And we lay back together under the sheets in that warm cocoon of a bed. And she pressed her body against mine. And I felt a thrilling excitement growing in me.
Now the lady was
started kissing
really
me then, I
very
remember.
frightened, and she
And her mouth
pushed
was
Jack
hot,
into the huge
and her
oven
tongue
and
was
shut the door
darting
just
here and
in
there.
time.
After kissing my face and mouth,
The old
Her
lady
head
didn't
came
want Jack
down.
to be eaten up,
and her lips seized
so she
upon
told
the
the giant
nipples
that there
had
was
now
no
become
one in the
erect
castle.
and tender and
She
very
gave him such a
sensitive.
huge dinner that he
And
forgot
I lay
about
there,
everything else.
thrilling in every limb.
When the giant had eaten,
teeth
he shouted
nibbled
to the
and
old
bit around my
woman to bring
nipples.
his golden harp
and I
and his
felt
magic
for the
hen that
very
lay
first
golden eggs.
time that warm, surging
The magic
feeling
harp
down
began
there
playing such a
between
sweet
my lips.
lullaby that soon the giant fell asleep and began snoring
slowly.
loudly.
I suppose so much frightened me. Her hand moved down my skin, lingering on its girlish shape, and then on, down, until the excitement rose in me, and I knew that she would touch me next. And I waited. And
Now,
waited.
Jack had opened the door of the oven and was waiting to come out.
I was frightened yet excited.
As soon as he heard the snores of the giant, he crept out of his hiding place. He picked up a sack that was lying nearby, picked up the magic harp and the magic hen, and shoved them inside the sack. But the hen started squawking loudly, and as Jack ran out of the castle, the harp cried out, "Master! Master!" All this noise woke up the sleeping giant, and he opened his eyes to see Jack running out of the castle with his treasures. With a terrible roar, he jumped up and started running after Jack. By this time, Jack had reached the beanstalk and was already climbing down. Now, the giant was nearly at the beanstalk and was going to climb down after Jack.
I've sailed the deep oceans, I've been to strange ports, I've seen things you would never believe. And in all of the towns, at the pubs I have found, there's one thing that most men will agree. Oh, beer is better than women. Beer is better, they say. From Belfast to England to Guam and New Zealand, from Hipping to Perth and Bombay.
They couldn't tell that we were lying, and since Granny was unconscious, she was doing no denying. We're those two dreadful children, destruction is our aim. The people who have dealt with us are never quite the same. We like to torture babies and to leave them in the rain. We're those two dreadful children, we delight in causing pain. We are those two dreadful children, and we always go too far. Do you remember when our auntie stayed the night? Yes, we crept up to her bedroom and we set her hair alight. And at the breakfast table next day, auntie looked upright. And our dear aunt, who's always given to understatement, declared that she had slept badly that night.
Black stockings.
Dental cavity, we're lousy with depravity. Some mother down the river offered just one time. Some children are adorable. We'd rather be deplorable. We'd like to tell you more, but we just haven't got the time. We haven't got the time. We're too busy being thoroughly detestable.
Turn on myself with them.
And then one day, a lady came to us and
trained them to be like that for years. Flying away from their ground.
And so we got her by the arms and legs and swung her in the air. And then we kicked her in the stomach and we grabbed her by the hair. And then we put her out the pencils and marbles up her nose. And then we tried to run the garden where the poison grows. And after that we stopped and said, I think the lady knows that we're those two dreadful children. We're always playing games. We once
at their sweet angelic faces, and let it not be forgotten that deep down at heart, we're both really rotten.
Who are you to complain about having my anus kissed and fondled?
Us two little children and we always go to bar. We are the two little children and we always go to bar. We are the little children and we always go to bar.
American soldiers down our way. Always call my arse my fanny.
Is it a roach? Is it a dead rat? No! It's Captain Junkie! Coming into your living room, stealing your TV set, taking anything you can possibly get. Captain Junkie! We find Captain Junkie nodding out in the park, falling off of his seat onto his face. And we move in closely and hear Captain Junkie speak. Oh, wow. Am I stoned? I feel so good. Coming into your hearts, America, a leading citizen, falling off of the park benches, bumping into poles, dropping glasses in the middle of company, making conversation like, yeah, well, I just go along with that. Helping America build itself to a bigger and better place. We find Captain Junkie walking into a parked car. Oh, no, man. Captain Junkie, a man to be looked up to. Captain Junkie is taking a shower. We find him looking at his body. Oh, wow. Man, these marks are just too much for me. Little kids look at Captain Junkie and say, Mommy, what's the matter with that man? Why is he always bumping into things and falling down? Get away, son. You don't want to be like him. That's Captain Junkie. Captain Junkie, one of America's leading citizens, falling into your living room, dropping your glasses, stealing your TV set, trying to sell some dope to your children. One of America's leading citizens. This was sponsored by People to Look Up To. Ooh, Captain Junkie. Don't you like Captain Junkie? He's a wonderful person, isn't he?
No!
Why isn't Captain Junkie a good
Oh, Captain Junkie, take him out of the station. Yeah. And he's Junkie. Take him out of the picture.
Captain Junkie wants to sell you some bad drugs.
No.
Don't you want to buy some bad drugs?
Yeah.
You buy them.
From people.
From people. So what do we call a man? How do we get drugs?
You buy them.
You buy them.
From people.
From people. So what do we call a man or a boy who sells drugs? It begins with a P.
Pollution.
Yes, that's a form of pollution. But he's a pusher. And a pusher carries a bag of all kinds of drugs. Pusher will sell you any kind of drugs you want. Okay, now I'm going to play a song, and you'll hear this guy tell you that the pusher's coming. All right? Here comes the dope pusher. He's got a bag of things that he will say will make you feel beautiful. Heroin, cocaine. He has some uppers and some downers and marijuana and all kinds of good things that will one day have you in pain and agony. But you can look at him right in the face and you can sing this song to him. I don't need no bad drugs. I don't need no bad drugs. I don't need no bad drugs. Sing along with me. I don't need no bad drugs. I don't need no bad drugs. Now watch him walk away because he can't sell you his bag of agony and pain. Goodbye, dope pusher. Goodbye with your bag of death and agony and pain. You'll have to find somebody not as smart. So that's what we want to tell the dope pusher. When somebody comes to sell us some drugs.
Here comes the dope pusher. He's coming to there.
So the dope pusher comes, what do you say to him?
I don't need no bad drugs.
Now, what do you think of a guy who thinks that he can handle bad drugs? What do you think of a guy who says, I know I can handle that?
He's crazy.
The pusher doesn't care if you kill yourself.
He just wants some money.
That's right. Now, isn't that something?
He could kill himself before he gets money.
Well, if he's an addict, he will.
He wants the money to buy some more.
For himself, usually, and also maybe just because he wants a bright new car. But anyway, any pusher doesn't care about your health. All he cares about is if he can get that money from you. Doesn't care about your habit. And sometimes the stuff that he's selling you has stuff in it that'll make you even sicker than you are. Tell me the things that are dangerous to take. Just call them out.
Me?
Yeah.
Dope.
Dope. All dope. But what kind of dope?
LSD.
Yes?
Marijuana. Coke. Airplane.
What was the one I said with an H?
Heroin.
Heroin. And you shoot it
Stick it in.
with a needle. Shoot it, right? I know one time my brother was crying a lot, so I gave him a whole lot of cough medicine and he went to sleep. See, but that's bad. That's a bad thing to do.
I know, it must be drugs.
Sure, it's drugs. That's a bad use of a good drug. You should always check with your mother first, or your father.
Like if the doctor gave you some medicine that you really need, and like this person came and sold you the same thing and gave you too much of it, and you just kept using it and using it.
Then you're an addict.
Because you would really think you needed it.
Well, yes, after a while, all junkies really feel that they need it. All right. Now, we have a song. Captain Junkie! Look on your rug. Is it a roach? Is it a dead rat? No! It's Captain Junkie! Coming into your living room, stealing your TV set.
Me and this friend of mine opened up a bar. Thought we'd get rich and eat that caviar. Now my pockets are empty, I'm on the edge of bankrupt. 'Cause he's always in the back, drinking our profits up. He's drinking up my profits, no money can I find. His drinking problem has almost made me lose my mind. 'Cause every time I want a drink, I have to call a truck. He's always in the back, drinking our profits up. I went into the back one day to get a drink for me. Every bottle I came to was empty as could be. He sat in the corner just as drunk as a rat. When you got enemies, who needs friends like that? Drinking up my profits, no money can I find. His drinking problem has almost made me lose my mind. 'Cause every time I want a drink, I have to call a truck. He's always in the back, drinking our profits up. Yeah, he's always back there. I tell you, he's about to put me in bankruptcy. I'm gonna get ready. Who needs a friend like that? God, when you got enemies, who needs
This is your Atari Missile Command read-along book. Every time you hear this sound, it means it's time to turn the page. Now we are ready to begin. Open your book, and we will start our story. And remember, when you hear the sound, turn the page. It fell to me to make the final report. I was there. I was involved from the outset, and I survived to tell the tale. I'm First Officer Ed Matthews. But let me start at the beginning. Outside the main conference room of the Zardonian Central Committee, a buzzer had gone off. The red light flashed to green, and the conference room door hissed open. I entered. I had been chosen as part of a new defense concept, a small three-man anti-ballistic missile base. The base commander hadn't been selected yet, and the picking of a second officer was left to me. The base was top secret, and its existence was known only to the ministers of the Central Committee. I was handed sealed orders and told not to open them until departure zone Zebra of the Zardonian Desert. The base commander would join us on site. I saluted and left. The door hissed shut after me. Second Officer Sarah Cochran was a round peg in a square system. She had a brain and the guts to use it. It took 3 days above surface and an ASUS 141 to reach Base Alpha, deep in the desert. It was small but lethal. It had as much throw weight as any of the bigger bases. The command launch cell was buried in a granite ridge and surrounded by a boron alloy cocoon. Only a direct hit could take it out. Sarah and I took our stations and fired up the system for a static test.
Rabbit in the hole.
Override, locking collar, venting, verify.
All A-OK. Tube hot, firing, now.
The cell shook as the engine strained to break out power level. Critical pullback at this time.
Roger, we have shut down.
Refuel bird, reset status.
Roger.
By the end of the week, we had the bugs out of Base Alpha. We would take some sting out of the next Krytolian attack. And we were untargeted by them, since the base hadn't been online yet. We were in the community cell. Sarah was arguing with me about the way I was aligning the AT-4 transmitter. Everything with her was a debate. I wanted to check up on the base commander, who was overdue, and something was blocking the band. So we went up to the surface deck to check the antenna. A blinding yellow dust storm was raging across the desert, creating an ion block. Those desert storms could go on for weeks. 2 days later, the outer perimeter pressure alarm was activated. We both grabbed Z-beam stun guns and raced for the surface deck. Day was practically night outside. The storm was so thick you could barely make out the grid on the ramp up to the entrance of the deck. Then I saw an OLTV 104 approach the end of the ramp and stop. A figure clambered down and staggered toward the entrance. The door slid to one side with a hiss. The storm raged in with the man, obscuring him and filling our eyes with dust. The door hissed shut. The man was Commander Kramer. He had been unable to get in by ASUS 141, so he'd come overland. He had no orders with him. They would have contained his authorization ID. He said he'd been told they were to be sent on here. No courier had come. There was the storm, but I felt uneasy. It wasn't neat. I was spooked about Kramer. He did everything right, but I just wasn't sure without orders. I knew a courier couldn't have gotten through, and the radio being down didn't help matters. Then, when I'm starting to feel okay about it all, he did something that set me right back on edge. We were all at our stations in the CLC. The system was fired up so Kramer could look it over. Then, right after stand down, he casually told me to change the targeting alignment for the second wave Krytolian launch as he left the CLC. Change alignments? Sarah had already gone up above, and I was alone and coming out of my skin. The warning klaxon went off. An explosion on the outer perimeter. It was night outside. The storm made it look like a brick wall. Kramer ordered us into E-suits and DP aspirators and told us to make a perimeter search. I didn't like leaving him inside alone, but I had to wait until I could discuss things with Sarah. We grabbed our Z-beams and the door hissed open. The storm rushed in to meet us. Outside, the force of the wind drove the sand particles so hard they tore at our suits. From inside, Kramer operated the penetration floods for all the use they were. Then we saw a halo of red flame through the dust. The ASUS 141 was badly damaged, and the pilot was unconscious, but unhurt. I figured he was the courier. We got clear just as the vehicle went up for good. Inside, as we put him on a bunk, I noticed his rank insignia for the first time. He was a commander. Now we had two. As soon as we were out in the connecting tube alone, I told Sarah everything I knew. We decided to confront Kramer. He was down in the CLC and acted very friendly when we entered. He asked about the patient and seemed genuinely surprised at our suspicions and intention of relieving him of command. He was just as confused by a second commander. Then he asked a question I couldn't answer. Did the new commander have orders? At that point, the patient appeared. Strangely, no worse for the wear. Commander Stark, the order said, answering two questions. Stark instructed me to realign the targeting angles, over Kramer's protests. Before anyone could stop him, Kramer grabbed a disintegration gun from the wall rack. I moved to grab one too, and Kramer zapped the rest of the guns. Kramer insisted Stark was an imposter. His orders were fake. Central's Ardonian intelligence knew cover had been broken on this project, but they didn't know how or where. Kramer said the first Krytolian wave was going to be nothing more than diversionary radar images to trick us into early launch, giving their real launch a clearer shot at the cities. Stark said Kramer was nuts and ordered us to rush him. Sarah and I hesitated, not sure. Then Stark jumped, grabbing Sarah around the neck with his arm. I moved toward him and he squeezed. He again ordered me to realign the targeting angles. I moved to the console. Kramer protested, but he didn't fire. I knew the real commander at that moment. On one side was human compassion, and on the other, cold, bloodless purpose. For one was a man, and the other a Krytolian android. I knew what to do now. I punched in a wave frequency that split the air. Certain death for an android. It set up vibrations in his chip memories, shattering them. The android's arm dropped from Sarah's throat as his brain failed and he collapsed. The warning alarm went off, indicating a Krytolian launch had been picked up on the radar scanner. Kramer ordered us to stations. Base Alpha was online and operational. The radar and computer tracking locked on the Krytolian simulators. Their lights cast an eerie glow in the darkened CLC.
Rabbits in their holes.
Bring the birds online.
Maintain and hold it yellow.
Roger. Birds online and holding yellow.
It was difficult not to believe our screens and readouts and wait. Then, the images just faded and the real signals appeared.
Bring all birds to condition red.
All birds red at this time.
My hands sweat on the controls as I waited for the Krytolian IBMs to arc overhead.
Ready to launch all birds.
They're hot.
Fire!
The surge of the ABM shook the CLC. They're gone. Our capacity of 10 ABMs rose up and cut through the Krytolian missile wave, making the job for the ABM sites down the line a little easier. We were going to stand down and reload when the warning alarm went off. A Krytolian smart cruise missile was on the screen, locked on us. I thought we were untargeted.
So did I.
Then we both realized the same thing at the same instant. The android itself was a homing beacon, functioning or not. Only Kramer got unbuckled. That's what saved Sarah and me when the cruise missile hit the site. I don't remember anything after that. When I came to, I was lying on the ground a few hundred yards from the complex, still strapped in my seat. A medevac ASUS 100 found us the next day and brought us here to the hospital. The CZI agent closed his notebook and the debriefing was over. He asked me what I thought it all added up to. I answered simply, Krytolian Intelligence Service has penetrated the inner circle of the Zardonian Central Committee.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين.
This is your Atari Missile Command read-along book.
Quran for Little Muslims is a production of ANUR for Islamic Arts. Our goal is to provide you with only the highest quality, entertaining, and educational products that build and strengthen your children's Muslim identity. In Quran for Little Muslims, we sought to present the spirit of these short surahs, the first surahs our children learn. In addition to memorization, Quran for Little Muslims help children realize the practical application of the Holy Quran in their daily lives. We welcome your comments about this first-of-its-kind production of Quran for children. Look for other Nur Art releases on audio cassette, the best-selling children's Islamic songs, We Are Muslims, and We Are Muslims Too. Please help support future Islamic productions for your children by buying only original works. Nur Art Productions. Assalamu alaikum.